Welcome everyone. Today, we're diving into one of the most important pillars of cloud security, AWS IAM, Identity and Access Management. Whether you're managing a small project or a large-scale cloud infrastructure, understanding who can access what and how is absolutely critical. Imagine giving full access to your house keys to every visitor. You wouldn't do that, right? In the cloud, security works the same way. If you don't carefully control who can access what, you're opening the door to serious risks. That's where AWS IAM comes in. It's the backbone of security in every AWS account. Today, we will discuss the following topics: AWS IAM overview, users and groups, policies, IAM roles, and IAM best practices. AWS IAM overview. AWS Identity and Access Management, IAM, is a global service that controls who can access AWS resources and what actions they can perform. It is free to use and acts as the security foundation of your AWS account. Every request made to AWS is evaluated against IAM policies, and by default, all access is denied unless explicitly allowed. IAM ensures that authentication, who you are, and authorization, what you can do, are properly enforced across all AWS services. Users and groups. IAM users represent individual people or applications that require long-term access to AWS. Each user has credentials such as a username and password for console access, along with optional access keys for programmatic use. Groups simplify permission management by allowing you to assign policies to multiple users at once. Instead of configuring permissions for each user individually, you add users to groups and assign policies to those groups. This makes it easier to manage access as roles and responsibilities change. Policies. Policies are JSON documents that define permissions in IAM. They specify what actions are allowed or denied, on which resources, and under what conditions. Policies can be AWS managed, customer managed, or inline. Each policy contains statements with an effect, allow or deny, action, the operation, and resource, the target. An explicit deny always overrides any allow, making it a critical rule in IAM security. Following the principle of least privilege is essential when creating policies. IAM roles are used to grant temporary permissions to AWS services or external users without requiring long-term credentials. Instead of assigning access keys, services like Lambda, EC2, or ECS assume roles to gain access to other AWS resources. Each role includes a trust policy that defines who can assume it, and a permission policy that defines what actions are allowed. Roles are more secure and scalable, especially for service-to-service communication and cross-account access. Securing your AWS account requires following IAM best practices. Always protect the root account by enabling multi-factor authentication and avoiding its use for daily tasks. Create individual IAM users for each person and enforce MFA for all users. Use roles instead of access keys whenever possible, and never embed credentials in code. Apply the principle of least privilege, regularly review permissions, and enable monitoring tools like CloudTrail and Access Analyzer to audit and detect potential security issues. In summary, AWS IAM is the core of securing your AWS environment, ensuring that only the right identities have the right level of access to your resources. By understanding users, groups, policies, and roles, and by applying best practices like least privilege and MFA, you can build a strong security foundation. Mastering IAM is essential for anyone working with AWS, as it directly impacts the safety, reliability, and integrity of your cloud infrastructure. Thank you for watching.